Welcome. This is Neil Versel. I'm talking today with Doug Biehn, who's the Chief Operating Officer of AliveCor, which is well known for being the maker of the first FDA-cleared smartphone ECG attachment. Now, AliveCor has some news today in that, number one, you've got a couple of new partners. Number two, you've got $30 million of new funding. And number three, you've got a new platform. And this is really your first major software release since the original app came out, I believe. This is Kardia Pro, an AI-enabled platform to help physicians monitor patients for atrial fibrillation. Why don't you explain that?
Yeah, so we've been launching new apps for the consumer every 6 weeks for the last year, but this is our first big entree into the medical professional market. Mm-hmm. And it's really addressing a gap in which our consumer app was never able to fulfill, in that the vast majority of our users were actually recommended by their doctors.
Yeah.
We didn't make it easy for the doctors. So
That makes sense. Yeah.
The Kardia Pro is designed for the doctors to make it easy for them to detect symptoms early that you would not otherwise be able to detect. It's a real 21st century way to empower your patients to self-care. And it's really easy on their workflow because all the information is real time. The algorithms help, process the data coming in to prioritize the ones that need attention. So it's really great on their workflow, which is really important to them.
Okay. Now, so now you're not just a consumer product anymore. You're although your original product was fully FDA cleared, and you've had additional clearances since then. Now, the Kardia platform, the the Apple Watch wristband has been cleared, has earned the CE mark, but not earned FDA clearance yet. So it's available in Europe.
You got that right.
Okay. Now, how does this Kardia Pro platform tie in with the Kardia wristband and with the original Alive ECG?
So we're launching Kardia Pro in the US only right now. So
Mm-hmm.
It only works with Kardia Mobile, which is the smartphone product. It does not work with the Kardia Band because it's not been approved by FDA.
Gotcha.
But the way it works is when a consumer is using Kardia Mobile on a daily basis, on average, our users take about 21 recordings per month. So you're recording a lot of data. And traditionally, you would have to either, print it out and bring it to your doctor or email it, which no doctor wants to receive those random emails.
Right.
And so now, every time you take a recording, it's immediately connected to your doctor in this Kardia Pro platform. Mm-hmm. And whether it's the doctor yourself or a staff, they receive this information on Kardia Pro, and the information is prioritized however they like to see the information. And so it really creates 24/7 connectivity between the doctor and the patient in a remote fashion. I mean, if you took 21 EKGs, you would have to actually go to the hospital, take your shot, put EKG, wires all of your body. Now you could do it real time, you're in your daily life, and your doctor's connected, and you could have a more 21st century relationship.
Okay. Now this new platform then adds a layer of artificial intelligence, machine learning, and analytics. Where does that come from? Where does that? So
the FDA cleared machine learning algorithms are present on the consumer's phone. Mm-hmm. So the platform, the Kardia Pro platform, will basically filter out what recordings the doctor wants to see. For example, if the doctor wants to see only your possible atrial fibrillation recordings, those get prioritized in this stack. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of how the algorithms work. As far as the AI essentially, artificial intelligence, is enabling us to really identify the EKG, the heart profile of each user, and be able to signal to the doctor that, hey, Doug's EKG says they're coming in by Doug, but they actually don't look like Doug anymore. Maybe you should take a look. And so it just gives the doctors early indication that something might be changing, that they should take a deeper look into the history of all Doug's EKGs. And so it really starts to empower the doctor with better information, more real-time information that could avoid something in the future.
Okay. Now, the funding you're announcing, that's a $30 million Series D round. It's being led by Omron Healthcare and the Mayo Clinic, as well as some other investors. Let's start about where Omron comes in on this. They're essentially a device manufacturer.
Yeah, Omron is the leading blood pressure, FDA cleared blood pressure brand.
Yep.
They've got majority share in the U.S. market.
Mm-hmm.
They've been in healthcare for a long time. If you look at their vision, it's all about, zero heart attacks and zero strokes. So there's really strong alignment with both of our missions. Mm-hmm. They provide the plumbing technology with the blood pressure, and we provide the electrical technology with the electrocardiogram. You bring that together, you have a total heart solution on one app that's super consumer friendly, that gives doctors all the information they need to really manage those key modifiable risk factors for heart disease and stroke. Okay,
so they're going to be integrating, well, your company and their company are going to be integrating some of your existing technology there.
Yeah, today on Kardia Pro, doctor could see not only all your EKGs over time, but also your blood pressure readings over time, all in one app, and see different correlations to your biomeasures over time. And also on the consumer app today, you could track your blood pressure through Omron on our app. You just pair it and it's all there. So you don't really have to manage multiple applications, whether you're a doctor or a consumer. It's all in one place. You could track those things over time, which is the most important.
Okay. Now, what kind of integration, by the way, are you doing with the Kardia platform, with EHRs or other systems that physicians might already be using?
Yeah. So the most common EHR integration is just a direct upload of our PDFs. So doctors are able to pick a specific EKG or a report of multiple EKGs, turn that into a PDF, and goes right into their billing system, essentially their EMR. And that's the most typical workflow today. Okay, but are you able to take the raw data so it can be run against existing clinical decision support systems or integrated into the patient record like that? I mean, obviously you're up to the capability of the physician's workflow when you're talking about a PDF. That seems to be the limiting factor, is what the doctor wants to work with. Yeah, that's the PDF really addresses the air and water requirements around billing. I think what you're talking about is more sophisticated. We have an open API platform that we work with the different health systems. Okay. If they get raw data, they can get the raw data as well. Okay. Now, speaking of health systems, tell me where Mayo fits in this picture. Obviously, they're going to be using this new platform. Yeah, so it's really exciting with Mayo. I mean, and interestingly, I heard John Noseworthy speak last week, and he said pretty much every bit of research that Mayo does is based on a specific patient need from someone at Mayo. So obviously, AFib is not an uncommon problem. No, so, the genesis of the relationship started in a deep product collaboration on potassium detection. So together we've developed an algorithm based on our EKG data to more accurately detect changes in one's potassium. And so that's pretty revolutionary, because traditionally potassium detection was largely drawn through blood draw. And so now for those of us who aren't medically inclined, potassium is a risk factor in AFib? For example, diabetes, renal disease. Dialysis tracking potassium, it's a key marker. And so using artificial intelligence techniques, we're actually able to detect changes in your potassium, and you can imagine in a much more convenient way in 30 seconds. And so that's currently in studies, and we're building that pipeline with Mayo. As far as Kardia Pro, yes, you're correct. The intention is to have Mayo use Kardia Pro as a platform for their cardiac monitoring services and extended monitoring service they offer to their patients. Okay, and since you're still working on FDA clearance on part of this, on part of your technology, Mayo serving as a test site for that as well. Yes. Okay. And do you have plans to to expand the program in any way, or are you just is it too soon to know at this point? As far as with Mayo or with Kardia Pro?
With both, with both. Obviously, you want to grow Kardia Pro as large as you can, as fast as you can. But where does what is Mayo doing
Well,
in addition to the potassium measurement?
Yeah, well, Mayo and I, we're partnering on the potassium and the cardiac monitoring, and there should be some other exciting things coming down in the future.
Okay. And as far as other users, you said that this is something that some of your existing users have said that they wanted. So, but Mayo is the first large health system partner, or they're the first large health system to invest in AliveCor?
First large health system to invest. I can tell you right now, we've got at least 4 of the top 10 cardiac institutions, Kardia Pro platform, before it's even been generally released. So
yeah, and of course your founder, Dr. Dave Albert, is a cardiologist, and he of course knows all these institutions. He's been out there, selling it pretty hard. He'll demonstrate it to anybody who asks, and even though some of us who don't ask.
Yeah, he's an amazing advocate.
Yeah.
So no, but we did when we launched, we had Kardia Pro in a limited release fashion in the market, and we've had unprecedented interest and engagement with large and small health systems, and so we're really excited to actually tell the world that this exists. Almost a day doesn't go by that like a doctor that's using our consumer product says, "When are you going to have something for the doctor?"
Yeah.
Now we actually have a solution, and everybody that uses it, they typically go, "Oh my God, this is a landmark development in cardiovascular care. I can't believe it. It's amazing." It's like you talked about EMRs earlier.
Yeah.
EMRs have become kind of like a 4-letter word because it's designed so poorly and it's so fragmented. And so when you show physicians beautiful software that's like 21st century, they're blown away on what it can do.
Well, it's really about best use of physicians' time, and that's why they seem to hate their EMR systems. It's because they're just real time sucks, especially in terms of documentation.
From a consumer perspective, I mean, traditional gold standard of care, if you have any heart conditions, you get an EKG once or twice a year, and you got to go in the office.
Yeah.
What we know about your heart, things change over time, and it's the longitudinal data. It's all that data, and you never get to see that. And so think about this. Everything now is captured remotely, and then the patient is educated and empowered to self-care, which reduces those unnecessary office visits or calls or ER visits. So it helps the system and it helps the consumers. And at the end of the day, everybody wins.
All right, Doug, thank you. And congratulations on the fundraise.
Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity and your support.